Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I will show you the route for the season 117 and the best GTA to use for different tags. But before we get into that, we got some bit of news today with the Tournament of Power. So they're saying the Zamasu is gonna be the last character that's gonna have a TOP kit. Basically, that means that the new TOP format is gonna come very soon, so I'm thinking this season or maybe the season after is the last normal TOP season, and we're gonna get the new format within a month, maybe 2 weeks even. If you don't know, TOP is changing. There is a lot of stuff that are gonna be different. I made a full video about that. It's gonna be in the channel. You can check it out if you are not informed on the changes overall. So let's get back to the season and the route. Pretty easy one of the easiest we got in the last couple of months. I think there is only one very hard fight, which is the final boss number 25, and I will give you targeting for both of them because maybe you want to choose one or the other depending on your team. So don't worry too much about it. It's gonna be on the full guide video. There is a couple of tricky one around, but they're not super hard. As long as you target well and you are aware of the gimmicks from the enemies, you should be fine. Even the mini boss is pretty simple. We are going to fight that mini boss a couple of times. It has the transforming Gogeta blue character, but he's super slow. You can eliminate him before he even attacks, so it's not a trouble at all. There is one hard fight, I would say, which is number 21, but even that is not hard at all. You have the DB characters that are pretty recent and pretty tanky, so they will take a little bit longer to eliminate, so they will attack you a couple of times, which could be a little bit tricky, and there is some debuff. But yeah, I'm going in depth about them on the full guide video, which is coming this Saturday. And here is the full schedule for uploads. Tomorrow is gonna be the team video. I'm gonna use a full event exclusive team for the season, so you see how they do. And I will review your teams on Friday. So the deadline for submission is gonna be on Friday 4 p.m. 9 hours after reset. If you want to submit me your team, so I check it if it's good enough, you can do it on Discord. That is the team submission channel. You go to season 117. You can do it on Twitter. There is a post that I just made, and you can check that out. You can put your team below it and give me your Z option if you want to. And also YouTube has a new community tab where you can post your own community posts. I don't know how it really functions, but I think you just can make regular posts as long as you are at least a 24-hour subscriber. I tried to remove the subscriber limitation, but they don't allow you. You need to be at least 24 hours. Anyway, if you are not, you can just post it on Twitter or Discord. Now let's get to the Z tier, but before, let me remind you about stars and friendship. Z tier's characters, they are not the most tanky, so you need some star on them. That's why I've put the recommendations on screen. And generally, you only need 2 Z tier in your team for the 1kcc. You bring the 2 Z tier for the last 10 fights, and that should be enough. I will go more in depth about it in the teams video tomorrow. And I would say your Z tier need to be at least friendship rank 5 or even 10 if possible. You don't want them to die on you. So at least 2 Z tier in your team. You put them in the bench, bring them for the last 10 fight. If you have more than 2 good Z tier, you don't worry about it. Just bring them as long as you go in the TOP season, and depending on which ones are strong in it. Sorry. But in general, this is my recommendations. I will go over the Z tier star recommendation one by one when we get into the different tags. Another thing, there will be a future team in the teams video tomorrow. I will talk about the Z tier options in that. I don't have them in today's video because I don't have any future team build generally. So just giving you the Z tiers is not really helpful. So we will go over some team builds for future in tomorrow's video. Now let's start with the GT, Frieza Force and Regen Z tier recommendations. We start with GT. In here we have 2 really good options, which is Rildo and Trunks. If your Rildo is at least 9 star and your Trunks at least 7 star, I would really advise to use both of them in your bench as your C tier, and you should be fine for this season. Bring them for the last 10 fight, they will be really good. If you do not have one of them, you can use one of the babies. They need to be at least 9 star. If you don't have both, you need the 2 babies. If you have only one Z tier, try to have at least 2 S in your team, plus one Z tier that you own, and you should be good to go. For Frieza Force and LOE, there is so many options, and you can even run 3 Z tier if you wanted to. It should be okay. And I think the 3 best ones are Apul, the red raspberry, and the yellow Monray. They're the 3 greatest ones. Of course, all the minions here need to be 14 star because they are free to play. After that, I would say the purple guy is really good, the purple raspberry. The only problem with him is he's strike based and LOE is mostly blast based, so I don't really recommend them like the others. If you do not have the minions, I would say yellow Broly is the best. Then the ape green Vegeta, they're really good, they need to be at least 9 star. If you do not own one of them, you can use the Raditz and he need to be 9 star. The 3 other minions are okay, they're not really great, I would recommend the other 4s. But if you do not have all the other 4 14 star, maybe you can use one of the 3 Apul squad. I would say the best after Apul and the 3 raspberries is gonna be the green one. He's pretty okay, he has some damage cut I believe, and he can crit a little bit, so he's gonna be fine. Now for regen, you don't have a lot of options, you have only 3 characters that can be runnable, which is the 2 baby and the red Super Boo. Well, I would advise the baby red one and the blue one, they need to be 9 star. If you do not have one of them 9 star, you can run the Super Boo as a 9 star. If you do not have all 3 and only one of them is 9 star, run him and try to have 2 or 3 S tier that are regen. Regen usually have a lot of option for S tier, and you should be fine for your 100 mil. Now let's get to the next patch, which is gonna be Android, Dragon Ball and Hybrid. Android, you have 2 options, which is gonna be the 2 Android 14. Both of them have some damage cut, which is nice, and they will survive pretty well compared to the other Z tiers. So I would recommend both in the bench and bring them for the last 10 fight. You should be okay. I would say both of them need to be 9 star, but if you have a high Android team or high star Android team, you can have the Sparking at 7 star. He might do a job, but he need to be at least friendship 10. Of course, 9 star is gonna be more optimal. For Dragon Ball, only one Z tier that is really good, which is Roshi, but you have so many S tier, you can overload with 3 different S tier plus the Roshi and your team should be okay. If you wanted to run another Z tier, you can use the Chi-Chi. The problem, she's not super tanky unless she faces some Sunfam, and that's where you can use her. But otherwise, I would just use the Roshi plus some S tier, and that should do the job. Both of them need to be at least 9 star. For Hybrid, you have 3 relatively good options. I would say the 2 purple are really good because they do not need the GT allies to get the damage. Although this guy, even without the GT buff, he should do the job. The 2 EXs and the Sparking Purple Trunks need to be 9 star at least, so 2 of them that you have 9 star, you can run them. If you have 1-7, the other 9, maybe it could work, but it could be really risky. Make sure you have Red Pan in your team for the HP buff. The 2 best, I would say the 2 purple then the green, but it's just depend on your team. Don't make the mistake, it's not the old EX green Trunks, it's the newer one who is solid. All the others, I'm not a big fan of them. Let's go to the next tags, which is gonna be Majin Buu Saga, Saiyan Saga, and Unirep. For Majin Buu Saga, as always, you have the Dabura. If you are used to use this team, you know the Z tier option do not change that much. You have the Dabura who has a red and green Z ability. He has some damage cut, some support, so he's a pretty nice option for Majin Buu Saga, and he need to be at least 9 star. After that, I would say is the purple Videl. She has some high damage cut for an EX, and she will survive pretty nicely, so it's a pretty nice option, and she need to be 9 star too. If you do not have one of them, you can run the yellow Videl or red Buu. Yellow Videl is better, both of them need to be 9 star of course, and that's your options for Majin Buu Saga. Saiyan Saga, You have three different options. I would say Gohan and Vegeta are the better ones in battle, but this green Raditz has the Saiyan Saga Z ability. All of them need to be 9 star. If you have them all three 9 star or around, I would use the Gohan and the Vegeta. If this Raditz is like 14, 12 to 14 star, I would use them in your team for the Z ability plus one of the two. I would say Gohan because you already have one green Z tier, so two green Z tier is not the best, but you can use Vegeta if you do not have Gohan high star. For Unirep, you have a couple of decent options. The best one are Kakunsa, Ribrian, and the Zenkai Caulifla. I would say if you have Caulifla Zenkai, use her. Then after I would say Ribrian, two really good Z tier. If you do not have Ribrian or Caulifla Zenkai, you can use Kakunsa. Ribrian and Kakunsa need to be at least 9 star. This Caulifla need to be 7 star Z4 minimum, and it should be fine. This Ribrian can be 7 star if your team is super high tier or high star, sorry, and you have like Bergamo as an HP buffer, it can work for you. But Kakunsa at least 9 star in my opinion, and this Caulifla need to be Zenkai. If you do not have one of them, you can run either the Sparking Rosie or Kakunsa, or the Red Rosie, and all three need to be 9 star, so if you are missing someone, you can use one that is higher star for you and higher friendship. Let's get to the next batch, which is gonna be Saiyan team, Vegeta clan, and movies. For Saiyan, some decent option. I would say the two best one is Broly. Broly is really good EX to use, plus the EX Tora. Both of them have some Z abilities for Saiyan, which is really nice. And Saiyan, the main issue is gonna be always the Z abilities, because some characters don't have them. So having this two is gonna be a really good option. Both of them need to be 9 star. I would say the Vegetas need to be 9, Raditz 9 star, the two EX 9 star, Caulifla at Z for 7 star if you are using her, although I don't recommend really to use her because she doesn't have great Z ability for Saiyans. And you have Nappa if you don't have anyone. You can use him, but he needs to be 14 star as a free to play unit. Other than that, you can have the Goku. He can be used in Goku based team if you have like the Kakarot Goku and other Gokus around. You can use him and he need to be 9 star. Best options, as I said, is the two EXs. After that, I would say depending on the stars you have, Raditz because he has a really good Z ability, or the two Vegetas. Raditz, if he is around 12 to 14 star, I would prioritize him for the Z ability. If he is 9 star and the other two are 9 star, maybe either Vegeta's is gonna be good, and it just depends on the colors you have in your team. If you don't have anybody, you can use Caulifla if she's Zenkite, or the Nappa as a last option. For Vegeta clan, really good options in general. You have the HP buffer, the code Vegeta in Z tier, which is really nice and he's free to play. He need to be 14 star, but I really like him because in easy fights you can put him in, HP buff your team, heal a little bit, and your team is gonna be much tankier. Also, it's gonna heal a lot. He's not the tankiest, so you're gonna manage him a little bit, but he can be a really good asset. After that, it's gonna be either Trunks or Vegeta, depending on who you have higher star. Both need to be 9 minimum, but yeah, if you have both high star, I would go with Vegeta. If only one is high star, you take the higher star one. Then after that, it's either a Vegeta or the Trunks. The Trunks, the GT one, of course you need GT allies for the abilities. So if you have a lot of GT Vegetas, you can use them. Otherwise, I would go with the other one, which is the green Vegeta. And he's a solid unit who tanks pretty well, but doesn't have the Z ability. I would say both of them need to be 9 star, of course. For the movies characters, this season is pretty bad for movies. Usually they have a lot of options, but in general, I would say the Broly is the best one. Nice Z ability. He can work in strike or blast teams, so he's a really nice option. He needs to be 9 star. After that, I would say either Vegeta or Trunks. They can be okay, but the Z abilities are not the best. So both of them need to be 9 star too. If you don't have one of them, you can use the Goku, who is okay also defensively. Just the Z ability is not great. He need to be 9 star too. Finally, you have the Nappa. If you do not have any options, you can use the Nappa as your second Z tier, and he need to be 14 star as a free to play. If you have only one Z tier, you can use 2 or 3 S's. you have so many of them in movies, you will be okay for your score. That's basically it for today. For the future theme, like I said, it's gonna be on tomorrow's themes video. I will go over the Z option for future, try to build a future theme if you want to use it in TOP, and that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. Have a good one and goodbye.